Hey there, I'm Ernie Svensson, a New Orleans lawyer who learned to create a happier law practice by learning how to work smarter. And for over a decade, I've been helping other lawyers do the exact same thing. Too many lawyers in solo or small firm practices are working way too hard, which is obviously the opposite of what they want. They're stuck inside a hamster wheel of overwork, overwhelm, and demoralization. Or, as Cal Newport, the author of the best-selling book Deep Work, points out, too many of us in the modern world are doing insignificant work. And as a result, we're not very productive and we're not very happy. Drudge work is tedious, it's boring, and it's demoralizing. You went to law school to work on interesting matters, and you can do more work like that. And that's what working smarter is all about. So let's talk about how to work smarter, which is a nice buzz phrase that's used all too often without making clear exactly what this is. So we're going to talk about how to achieve the benefits of working smarter in a bit, but for now, we can say that working smarter in general means getting more work done more easily and more quickly with less friction and less stress, sometimes even at a lower cost. So how do you achieve this holy grail of productivity? Well, by eliminating unnecessary work or unnecessary steps involved in doing some tasks. I mean, this is the essence of hacking, as that term is often used in relationship to productivity hacking and so forth. Also streamlining. Now, streamlining means getting work done faster with less friction, less frustration, fewer bottlenecks or inefficiencies, which arise often because we simply let things get overcomplicated, which leads to confusion and prevents streamlining. Of course, automation, which is increasingly possible, but also increasingly frustrating for the same reasons that we have trouble streamlining. And finally, delegation, which is the best way to get rid of work you don't want to do, assuming you have the time to manage the delegation process and assuming you have the money to pay someone else to do the work for you. Now, if you want to work super smart, then you want to engage in radical productivity hacking as much as possible. Now, this is possible, but not in the way that most lawyers tend to imagine. Most people nowadays think that automation is the key to radical productivity. But automation isn't a magic wand. It presents challenges that too many of us get tripped up by, especially us lawyers. We think we can leverage automation, but the fact is most of us aren't ready to fully leverage it for the reasons that Bill Gates pointed out, which is if we have inefficiencies in our work, which most of us do, then when we try to use automation, we're just magnifying the inefficiencies. And that offsets any gains that automation might theoretically provide. So how do these inefficiencies arise? Well, this is not what Bill Gates said, but let's pretend he did. The problem is that we have too much complexity, and we don't know how to manage our complexity, or better yet, eliminate it. Lawyers have a lot of trouble making things simple. This is our Achilles heel, or our kryptonite. But if we could learn to eliminate complexity, then we'd be able to soar in efficiency and become radically more productive. Complexity leads to confusion, which also magnifies inefficiency. Even just being sort of foggy-headed about something is enough to cause confusion that leads to inefficiency. Now, the thing is, making things clear or explaining things in a clear, simple way to somebody that you give work to, it takes effort, it takes time. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, you probably don't feel like you can spend the time on making things clear. Of course, overwhelm also magnifies inefficiency. So all of these things sort of domino into one another and make our workflows very inefficient. But hey, we're used to inefficiency, right? Like fish in water. So we just sort of accept that that's the way it has to be. But this is just our mindset, which we can change or improve if we know how. So we need to learn how to zoom out and zoom in so we can focus in a way that avoids us triggering the things that lead to confusion and overwhelm. We need to learn how to eliminate complexity and streamline our practices so that we can take advantage of the resources that will allow us to work much smarter and to stop working so hard in ways that are completely unnecessary. So if we can start our day in a state of calm reflection, we're off to a good start. From there, we can get a simple overview of our day and our week and start the process of planning things in a calm state of mind. Unfortunately, most of us don't know how to set our day up properly, so we tend to plan in a frenzied way that leads to confusion, or at least doesn't help us get clarity about what work actually needs to get done. Once you enter this state of mind, it's almost impossible to come back. You can't hack productivity at this point because you can't easily see what needs to be eliminated. Your thinking is all about the fires that you need to put out. And this is how you enter into a state of overwhelm, which is the state of mind that most lawyers wind up in when they start doing all the things that they think they need to be doing. So the key is to realize that you can zoom in or zoom out to the level of focus that will let you work most productively. You start with the big picture, and then you plan out your day and you got your priorities. And then from there, you can zoom in to the important details that you need to take care of. So controlling your level of focus, zooming in and zooming out, is one of the big keys, if not the biggest key, to setting up things so that you can work smarter and not harder. Now, if you want to learn more about how to work smarter, then you can visit my lawfirmautopilot.com website, and then just scroll down and click this button here on the website, and you can download my free guide to working smarter in your law practice. And I will look forward to helping you from there. Thank you.